expensive. Everything is expensive. Gas is expensive. Nationwide shortages of valuable resources is making things expensive. Inflation is making everything else expensive. But do you know what else is really, really expensive? Your eternal salvation. It is very, very expensive. And unfortunately, you and I will never be able to pay the price for our eternal salvation. The reality is that no one can afford it. Not even Elon Musk and all his billions of dollars can afford eternal salvation. The price is too steep. It is too expensive. But you know what? There is one very special person who could afford salvation for the whole world, and he paid the price. And that person is Jesus Christ, the Son of God and God himself. But the price that he paid was very, very expensive and very, very unique. We're told in 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 18 and 19, "For you know that it was not with perishable things, such as silver or gold, that you were redeemed from the empty way of life handed down to you from your forefathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect." You see, the price for our salvation, it was too expensive for us, but not too expensive for Jesus. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't cheap. I mean, after all, the Son of God and God himself once sat at the right hand of the Father in full glory, majesty, and perfection. And yet, because he wanted to pay the price for our salvation, he gave all of that up and lived in this sinful world, was conceived and born of a human woman, born in lowly, humiliating circumstances. And then he lived the life of a wanderer. He didn't have a home in which he lived in. He didn't have a bed to sleep in. So far, that's a pretty steep price that Jesus paid for our salvation, but we're just getting started, because the price for our salvation only became more expensive. Because the real price that needed to be paid was the very life of Jesus Christ. And he gave up his life. He gave up his life on the cross and shed his holy, innocent blood. And by doing so, he paid the price. He paid a very steep and expensive price, all so that you and I, sinners though we be, could enjoy eternal paradise. The price for our salvation was so expensive, and yet Jesus' love for you was so great that he was willing to pay that very expensive price. Yes, our salvation is free to us, but it wasn't free to Jesus. It was very expensive. But because he loves you so much, he paid the price, and salvation is yours. Praise be to God. If this devotion was a blessing to you, then please like and share with others. God's blessings to you all.